Hello and welcome back to Energy Mastery. I am so excited to be here with you today because we are diving into something that is really, really important, especially right now with the way that things are out there in the big wide world. It's noisy, right? There is so much going on, and it's so easy to get distracted in it or, lost in it, stuck in it, and not know how to cut through the noise, not know how to get yourself through that because again there is so much, and as humans we're being bombarded with information, with scarcity, with whatever it is going on out there around you. And this is where it comes in, like energy mastery is a key piece to nail, to live a life that you love, to be happy in your life, and to be fully super connected in the way that is right for you. So we know things are getting serious. But I've got my whiteboard out. So I'm actually going to draw a bit of a diagram for you today because I feel like that's going to be one of the best ways I'm going to be able to get across to you exactly what it is that I am saying, and how that wants to land in your system for you right now. So what I'm going to do is, right, okay. So what is happening right now as we speak is there is so much information. I was laughing at my face, at my the shape of my face. So there's so much information coming in, right? Coming in from all these different places. And what happens with that is when we are getting the information from over here, from outside, we're getting it externally. Okay. So this is where it is, people are so often externally seeking, externally sourcing. And what happens with this is it's from many different ways, right? So it can be from looking outside of you for answers. It might be looking to other people for what they are saying or what their opinions are or what their beliefs are that they hold. It might be using AI to get all the questions and answers that you're after. Um, this way, it can be sometimes perceived as easier and faster because if the information is there and available to you, why would you not go for it, right? It's very short term lived. So there might be little bursts of dopamine, okay, and then it wears off. So this is where it's can be depleting. It can lead to burnout because what happens is we're looking outside of us for everything, so we're not actually getting that information through. Now, obviously, too, it's going to be draining, right? It's going to be draining to do it like that. And so then what happens is as that information is coming in, we've got whatever it is coming out, and then there's this whole out, around all this stuff, back through, filtering through all of that, back into externally looking for it. Okay, more information is coming back, searching for what it is. Why do I feel this way? Why is it happening like this? All of the rest of it. And we're actually double or even tripling information. Okay. Double, triple the information that we are getting. And I just want you to, as I'm explaining that, to picture for yourself how that feels, right? Picture for yourself where that is you right now, where you're looking outside of you, where you're searching for certain feelings or certain answers. And, this is where there's so many there's so many rules here to follow, right? So many rules. Now, take a guess at what the face on the person who is doing all the external seeking looks like. Probably going to be a little bit like, okay, a little bit up and down, a little bit like, oh my gosh, I know. Maybe there's an inkling of knowing, or there's something there, but how do I get into it? How do I touch it? I'm doing all the right things. I'm getting the information. I'm doing all of the stuff. It's coming from so many different places, okay? Externally. So I'll just pop up here, society, others, AI, Um, don't get me wrong, because these things have their time and place, something like AI. But when people are using it for every single answer they possibly need and starting to try to use it to think for them, it can lead to this cycle, okay? This cycle of externally seeking and looking for the answers, of thinking your way to the feelings and really trying to find your way there. So it can, again, it can feel easier sometimes when you don't know the difference or when that information is there because there is so much information ready and available to us. So it's like an information overload. All right. So this also can happen like socials, getting caught in the static of things around us, the static of what it is that you are creating and what you're wanting to step into. In different ways too, right? When you're looking for that dopamine, it can give you short bursts, absolutely, and in ways that you're finding it from outside of you. This is, where addiction, all sorts of things, right? And addiction can look in many different ways for people too. So we can be addicted to looking for this sort of information. We can be addicted to social media, addicted to that dopamine of where it is that you're sourcing that from. Okay. So this is externally sourcing. Now, what I want to move into with this in the topic of the whole thing is self-sourcing. Okay. And this is one of the most important shifts, decisions, and things that you could possibly make and master. So do another face here, little nose. This person is getting all the information coming straight down. All right. So this is source coming straight through to and through soul. So we're connected source and soul. All right. This is inter internal wholeness. This is the space where you are self sourcing. This is where you've got that connection there, right? So you are connected. And most importantly, you're connected to soul and source. And so what happens is this beautiful energy is coming down. You've got the means there of how you're getting your information and what that feels like for you and what filters that is going through. So up here, we're filtering through and living through the lens of all of this stuff, of other people, of all the static, of all the noise. We're living through so much else, and the filter gets a bit blurry, the lens gets a bit blurry when there's so much it's got to filter through, and then that filter doesn't line up with your lens, and then that doesn't line up with the way that and that doesn't line up, and so there's this massive inner conflict, right? Inner conflict up here. What do you think down here is? It's peace, right? It's peace, it's harmony, it's where joy, because now you've got this beautiful flow going up and through. Could even go the next step to have it coming, it's fully connected, living straight from that space and knowing that other people's opinions and society judgments and patternings and conditionings and all of that stuff that we took on doesn't need to be who we live as. That doesn't need to be the be all and end all for who you actually are in your pure essence, because up here is the patterns, the conditioning. Down here is freedom. Down here is where we say, hey, no more am I following the crowds. No more am I getting caught up in all of this crap. I get to choose for me. I get to choose for me what that's going to be. I get to choose for me what I want to choose. And I don't want to follow those rules. I don't want to follow the rules of the norm or the traditional or, whatever that is. So just feeling into the difference between this externally seeking, externally sourcing, I think that's going to make a lot of sense. And internally sourcing, self-sourcing. Because if you can live from this space, make decisions from this space, then you're through the lens and the filter that is going to serve you for your highest good. So you can only imagine the face that this person is wearing, right? The biggest smile. The biggest smile. And we're human, right? So there may be things, well, there will be things that pop up along the way. There may be challenges, there may be, little things and hurdles along the journey. But which one do you think is going to have the means to move through that in a way that serves you? If you're up here, you get stuck in all of this, right? You get stuck in all of this, and then this is coming down, maybe through into you, and then back out, and then back up around, and it's getting all, and there's this push and pull going on in here, and it can get messy. You can feel like you get stuck in a rut, right? I think and trust that this will land exactly the way that it needs to for you right now. But this is what we are doing here together, is we are moving into this place of self-sourcing. So you've got the means and which to live from for yourself, those lens to live through what it's getting filtered through for you, right? And it's a big, big thing because it changes the whole outlook. You think of something, right? A decision over here that you've got to make. Okay? Decision. And this is just one example of the way this could play out. You think about if you were to make that decision from this space, where that's going to take you. Okay? How aligned that's going to be. Is that going to move you further towards your soul and your higher self or further away? Where is that going to take you? Or you come and make your decision from this space. Even just saying that, right? Can feel the relief of that, feel the alignment of that because you're not going to be led the wrong way. Now, we're not here to judge. We are not here to make it wrong. We've all spent time living here, right? Because when we do have the patternings and the conditioning that we feel we have no choice on, we kind of just take that on as who we are, then that's the space that we don't know how not to live from that. We're doing things in this way of externally sourcing and seeking and finding the information from all of these ways and different ways outside of us. And then we're wondering why we're feeling depleted, why we're getting burnt out or heading to that way. Why are we feeling so drained? Okay, because we're making decisions and coming from that place of force, pressure, got to get it right, got to figure it out, right? This, my friends, is where we're moving into from everything that we are doing here together. And I think it's pretty powerful. And I trust that this diagram here has allowed you to see and understand exactly the way that this needs to land for you right now. And remembering, and as decisions come up or as you are going about your day, to start with, it can take a real intention, right? So being very intentional that you are self-sourcing. Where is the information coming from? What is it that you're listening to? Where are you looking for that? Because when you're searching for that and looking for that outside of you, it becomes that cycle, right? The cycle of, oh, gotta look for more, gotta look for more. What's the next piece? What's that? What's that? When we come here, you know that it's there, you know the answers are there, you've got that connection and it's there and readily and available to you. Now, support in this space is still freaking important, right? It's still super powerful when we can fast track our way and be with other like-minded people on the same journey. Absolutely. But my goal is to have you in this place here, and that's where you live your life from. How powerful is that? And as I say, just feeling the difference within that as I'm here speaking to you as well. The picture, the diagram, it speaks a million words, right? It speaks a million words. So let's be gone with the externally sourcing, the externally seeking, and let's make the decision to live from this place with all of the tools that you've learned so far and what we're really picking up on and moving forward with. We're not finished yet, but be open to be in this space. Oh, I'm so excited to see where this takes you and yeah, exactly how that lands for you in the way that it needs to. Sending much love.